He had her on this side, where that's facing us. He had her on that side right there, hanging off the balcony by her.
Rest in peace, Kei'mani Latigue. Kei'mani Latigue was took by the hands of Darnell Jones Ogletree. Darnell Jones is in jail facing life in prison without parole. He has more than 11 investigations before leading up to his horrible crime with unaliving his daughter, Kei'mani Latigue. Family and friends of Kei'mani said she loved the game of basketball and she loved to do her TikToks. The little snippet video we seen in the beginning is a neighbor named Angela who said she seen Darnell Jones unleash mayhem. What I have gathered about Darnell Jones, he has more than 11 investigations that should have landed him in jail. Neighbors are saying a few doors down that Darnell had his wife hanging over the balcony trying to her. All kind of stuff was flying off that balcony. Clothes, everything you can name was coming off the top of that balcony. While he was her, they called the police. When the police got there, they arrested him for domestic violence. Angela, the neighbor, said while all this was going on, everybody was calling the police. One neighbor even I'm going to come up there, and he called him up there. He said, come on up here. Y'all keeping up with me in this social media buzz? Dig this here. He pled no contest to domestic violence while charges was dropped. He did 60 days in the CCNO, but he served no time. He did a substance abuse program. Oh, did I mention he had a blade then swinging in and going all crazy? This when it started, age 19, 2011, intoxicated while screaming outside of his apartment, resisting arrest. Just 3 months later, him and a friend set fire to a Toledo warehouse. Pled guilty for arson, but pled guilty to a lesser charge, attempting arson. He was sentenced to 4 years probation. He had to get a GED and a job. And as a convicted felon, y'all already know he ain't supposed to have a pew-pew. In 2015, he pulled a blower and let it off at 807 Walnut. Pled no contest and was given probation once again. Wasn't he supposed to go to jail for like 5 years for having that blower? I don't know. Let's get back into it. In 2016, he violated that probation by punching out and breaking out a window at a work release program that he worked with at. And he still ain't go to jail? If you getting away with all that stuff, why don't you go a little farther? So in 2017, he went to jail for smashing an alternator in a man's face that required to get 20 stitches. He pled to a lesser charge and he violated his probation. He was sentenced to CCNO for 6 more months, no more jail time still, and he got 2 more years probation. In 2018, disorderly conduct for using profanity and slurs and all kind of words outside his home. This was earlier, remember, before 2019, before he had his wife over the balcony, so I'm pretty sure it was her making these calls before she was getting fed up. 4 months later, the police was called back on him at the same address to be rearrested, and he just received some more probation. Police said when they picked him up, he had glossy eyes and he was just, out of it. Every year it looked like Darnell Jones had something going on. In 2019, he was arrested for disorderly conduct. They said he was drunk on the porch with a big old machete. He even threatened the officer that came to arrest him that he'd pew him in his head. Coming back to 2019, 3 years before he unalived Kei'mani, the child of his wife.
And all of a sudden, we started hearing things going over the balcony, like TVs and clothes, you name it. He was tossing it out the door and out the window.
August 2022, he was indicted by a grand jury in an incident that happened at a daycare center. He was found pew-pewing in the parking lot and swinging a pipe. He only received 7 months in the CCNO. No jail time. This happened 3 years before he unalived Kei'mani Latigue. Social media buzz.
And he was this close to throwing her off that balcony.